Oh, it looks like we have new videos and information about UFOs in the Ukraine. This is crazy. So get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like, please subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media and let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, let's just get right to it. This is from Chris Lato, who I love his channel, and let's listen to what he has to say in just a few seconds, and we'll get to the videos. I won't spend a lot of time on his video, but I encourage you to go check out the full thing, and then we'll talk a little bit more about what else is going on.
Exciting video today. I heard back from Boris Zilyev. So quickly, let's just play through the 4 videos in order so we can see it up front. Boris is an astronomer in Kiev. He works at the main observatory of Kiev. And over the past year, he and his team of astronomers have been capturing UAPs, these crazy videos of objects moving faster than we can imagine things moving through the atmosphere. And he says they are
Doesn't look like a balloon to me.
ubiquitous.
Oh, and that's important. Yeah, he says the astronomer who studies this says they are ubiquitous. They are everywhere.
UAPs are everywhere. He says they've captured it using meteor detection software. So meteor detection equipment. They monitor the daytime sky. That's his normal job that Boris does. Along with that, now they are capturing these videos. So today I'll present 4 videos along with the paper. So I'll go through his paper to try and glean as much information as we can and as much learning. This is exciting stuff.
Here's some more information. Boris is an astronomer in Kiev. He works at the main observatory in Kiev. And over the past year, he and his team of astronomers have been capturing UAPs, obviously on video. These crazy videos show objects moving faster than we can imagine. And he says they are ubiquitous. UAPs are everywhere. And that dovetails with the information about the dragons from the LEAK project, where there's a certain researcher that makes these interpolations of videos showing that these UFOs, these very small UFOs that he calls dragons because he originally thought they were dragonflies before he debunked that, that they will buzz any airborne object over 150 feet just anywhere in the world, really. They have certain concentrations of places where they are, more often than others. But yeah, they will buzz anything over 150 feet. They are just literally everywhere. Those are very small UFOs, flying very fast, basically impossible to see without high-speed cameras. And even then you have to make these interpolations to really get it. But let's go over the paper, the scientific paper that the astronomer Boris wrote from Kiev, talking about these things. Don't need the ad there. I'm not going to read the whole paper, but I will link to it, and you can read the whole scientific paper at your leisure. Let's just go over the discussion. The main points. The main astronomical observatory of NAS of Ukraine conducts a study of UAP. We used a meteor station installed in Kiev. Observations were performed with color video camera in the daytime sky. A special observation technique had developed for detecting and evaluating UAP characteristics. Yeah, the English on here isn't great. I don't know if this was translated or if it was Boris himself who wrote this. But I can't speak Ukraine or write Ukraine, so I'll give him a pass on that one. There are 2 types of UAP conventionally called cosmics and phantoms. Cosmics are luminous objects brighter than the background of the sky. Phantoms are dark objects. Yeah, in one of his videos, Chris Lato hypothesized that they were actually the same object, just appearing at different places in the atmosphere, in the sky. He hasn't mentioned that lately that I've seen, so he may have moved away from that theory. But that's not Boris's theory, and he's the astronomer that looked at this. A group of bright spinning objects. The objects of this group can be observed quite often. Yeah, those are those weird spinning things. Very interesting. I don't recall seeing anything quite like that before. They move at a speed of 1 to 2 degrees per second. Their angular size is 8 to 9 arc minutes. I have no idea what that means. A typical object of this group at distances of 1, 5, and 10 kilometers will have a size of 4, 20, and 40 meters. Okay, so they range from very small, 4 meters, to quite large, over a football size and length at 40 meters, and tangential velocities of 18, 90, and 180 meters per second. Okay, that sounds pretty fast. Objects show variations in intensity in the area of the illuminated surface. Variations in intensity and area can be interpreted as 1, the object is rotating, 2, the object has a flattened shape with an aspect ratio of about 1 to 3. Group of bright structured objects. Observations in Kiev, June 2022, February and March revealed UAP objects of a particular type. This group of bright objects of large angular sizes has clearly defined structural features. 2 of them have almost identical characteristics. Objects show a size of about 14 arc minutes, about half the size of the moon. Okay, thank you, that was helpful. Their contrast is, and of course he's just talking about observing these things, not the actual size. Their contrast is about 28%. If assuming a distance of 4 kilometers, the size will be about 28 meters and the speed about 380 meters a second. The third object shows anomalous temporal characteristics. Okay, intriguing. Say on, Boris. The object flashes 200th of a second at an average of 20 times per second. Wow. This intensity drops practically to zero. The object has become invisible. The situation with the invisibility is repeated 20 times per second. It's wild. That is wild. I love it. That's crazy. And this is the sort of thing that mainstream science should have been doing these many years. And, of course, the government knows all about this stuff. The U.S. government. Where's that information, huh? Practice shows that phantoms are remote objects at high altitudes. Their intensity is weakened due to the Rayleigh scattering of radiation in the atmosphere. The attenuation can reach 0.2 to 0.3 magnitudes. Image contrast can be only a few percent, making them difficult to detect. It is possible that some phantoms are not completely black body. Some objects exhibit an inhomogeneous surface. The UTC object exhibits unique properties. Dark contrast is 7% and bright halo contrast is 2%. The object is difficult to detect. The angular velocity of the object is 23 degrees per second. Okay, and I know this is kind of dry. Let me just skip to the paragraph here. It is important to know how often phantoms can be observed. Practice shows that a set of observations lasting a few hours allows us to detect one object in a 3 by 3 degree area. For an area of 90 by 90 degrees, one can expect objects 1,000 times more. Okay, statistically, a phantom can be observed in the sky every few seconds. What? Every few seconds, these things are, wow, it's crazy. However, the brightness of the sky is highly dependent both on the distance of the object from the sun and atmospheric conditions. The real estimate can be an order of magnitude smaller. All we can say about UAPs is to repeat the famous quote, coming from the part of space that lies outside Earth and its atmosphere. And there's the appendix, determination of distance object. Yeah, so I don't think they know how large these things are. I was giving the size range earlier, but I think that is just dependent on how far away these things actually are, and I don't think we actually know that. So we need some triangulation going on. This is all coming from one observatory. Well, it sounds like we need multiple observatories in coordinating their data and all that kind of stuff, so we can get some triangulation, so we can actually judge the distance and the size. And probably seeing these things move and flash and spin from multiple angles could be really helpful in understanding their qualities. Yeah, here's one of them. This isn't one of the spinning ones, or if it is, it's spinning so fast it's kind of hard to see. You can kind of see a little spin going. But yeah, so these things apparently are just everywhere. They're all over the sky. You can see them every few seconds. Are they particularly prevalent in Ukraine and in war zones? Because we have seen UAP, UFO activity in war zones since at least World War II, where they were seeing the Foo Fighters. And yeah, so is it just in the war zone? Are these guys just everywhere, all around the world, all the time? Because that would seem to be true based on the Dragon information from the Project Leak, or the Leak Project. See my videos on that, or go seek out those videos by the Leak Project. Really, really fascinating stuff. Those objects are different than these. Those weren't the bright spinning objects. They were dark and they moved extremely fast and they were small. There's different types of UFOs that are ubiquitous, I guess, and they have different characteristics. But yeah, these guys are everywhere. The phenomenon is everywhere. Not just everywhere, but every second. There is a massive engagement by the phenomenon in this world. And we need to figure out what that is. That sounds like that could be very important, doesn't it? Yeah, so UFOs are everywhere, all the time, seemingly. They may or may not be more prevalent in a war zone, but the information about the dragons indicates that some form of UFO, will buzz any object over 150 feet, and that's not very high. So, yeah, these guys are here, and we need to figure out why. And because they're here, we need to have a good relationship with them. The U.S. military is shooting at some of them. They have befriended some of these beings, that fly these things, but they are shooting at others of them. So, do we trust the U.S. government to make the right decision in who they're shooting at? I don't. I don't at all. So, if you do, hats off. You have more faith than I do. And I assume that if we're shooting at them, and we are, that the beings that we are working with are the ones that guided us towards shooting at them. So hopefully we made the right call and we sided with the right beings. But if these things are as prevalent as they seem to be, it would behoove us probably not to shoot at them. And if we are shooting at them, to be damn sure we're shooting at the right ones. That are actually malicious and want the destruction of humanity or Earth or something. So that's why this stuff needs to come out in the open, so we know what is going on. Because this stuff is clearly hugely important, because it's everywhere. So anyway, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. I would really appreciate it. Give this video a big thumbs up. That'd be super awesome. Smash the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. Facebook and Twitter links are below. I would love to see you guys there. That'd be awesome. And check out some of my other videos. Until next time, this is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.